If everybody remembers, last week we had interviewed on our show Jean Montrevil, his family. Jean had pled guilty to a drug offense he may or may not have done. Maybe he did it, maybe he didn't. But the facts were that in the 1980s, he came here as a young man, 15 years old. His father brought him here, unfortunately left him on the streets, did not give him a home. He was arrested one time in his life while trying to survive on the streets in the late 1980s. He was from Haiti with a green card, and he was arrested visiting with a friend in a home that got raided for drugs. Now, maybe he knew the drugs were there, maybe he didn't. We don't know. It happened 30 years ago. But nevertheless, this was in Virginia. He did plead guilty to his crime. And back then in the 1980s, under federal drug statutes, they were very, 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 very rough with young black men who were guilty of their first drug offenses. Now, the amount of drugs in this person's home was minimal. It was not the Cali cartel going on in this apartment. Now, if small amounts of drugs, whatever that amount was, I don't remember the exact amount, he was sentenced to 30 years in jail, basically half of his life, for being in an apartment where he knew or may not have known there was drugs. Now, he served 11 years, and immigration came to put him in deportation while he was in jail in the mid-1990s. And he went to an immigration judge, and when he went to this immigration judge, his lawyer, who his family had hired, or he hired, whatever the case may be, never showed up to the court. The judge did not give him an opportunity to go find another lawyer. The judge says, screw you, hell with you, I'm going to order you deported. Which is what happened in around 1993 and 1994. Here's the gentleman. Subsequent to that, immigration, because they're all screwed up, U.S. bureaucracy, lets the guy out of jail without deporting him. Puts him back into society. He's never been arrested again. Gets his life together from the day he gets out of jail. Gets married. Has 4 children, 3 with the same woman. One of his children, unfortunately, had brain cancer, went through brain cancer treatment. He started his own taxi company. He was employing U.S. citizens. By all accounts, a fantastic human being, a very good father, a good provider, a good role model to his children. A man who literally turned his life around and lived here in the United States with an order of deportation, with the Immigration Service never doing anything about it for the next 25 years. Until the orange guy got in the White House and he said to the Immigration Service, you know, some of these people who were ordered deported 30 years ago, go round them up now. Which is what the Immigration Service did. They literally, while he was on his way to work without any notice, just came and arrested him several weeks ago. He's been sitting in jail after the U.S. government allowed him to live here in the United States for 25 years, get his life together, make a business, make a company, make a family, be a father, be a role model, be a financial provider. Now the U.S. government takes him off the street, literally on his way to work. The family has nobody to provide for them. The children do not have a role model for a father anymore. We had this family on our show last week. We interviewed the son, who was a very smart boy. We interviewed the mother and the daughter. And I think we have a little clips of it. And then we're going to, unfortunately, what's happened is apparently they intend to deport this man today. Okay, so we have a little clip of my interview with this child. Let's see that little clip. Just hold. Hold, I'm told. Hi, Josiah. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So you're 14, I understand?
Yeah.
So you're in ninth,
Yes.
you're in ninth grade?
Yeah.
Ninth grade. So what year were you born?
I was born in November 2003.
2003. So you were born well after all this stuff happened with your dad, right?
Yeah.
So what have you heard? You know your dad's in deportation. What have you heard about this? Tell us what you know about it.
I've heard that they're thinking about deporting him back to Haiti, and now, and once he gets there, he's gonna have to get interviewed by Haitian government, and then a family member must sign and pick him up. But since he doesn't have any family down there, he's either gonna have to pay or go to jail. But since he doesn't have any money, it's more likely that he's gonna go to jail down there. And it's just sad because they're like trying to make money off of the criminal deportees.
That's very true. So what does this mean to you? How has this been affecting you?
That would mean that I'd lose my father, and he's the one who pushes me so hard to make sure that I get into like the top schools and try my best in school.
And do your friends know what's going on?
Yeah,
And how have they been? Have they been supportive of you?
yeah, they've been sharing the petition and trying to get more signatures. And just yesterday, me and some of my friends were working on getting it set up, making posters to hang up around my school. They would also have a QR code that they could scan.
And when was the last time you saw your father?
Last time I saw him was about a couple days before he got detained.
And he
So that was on like Saturday
okay. And but
last week.
you have not seen him since he's been detained.
No,
And you have you spoken to him since he's been detained?
I've spoken to him maybe once or twice.
And what has he told you when he was in detention?
He told me to just make sure I try and get more signatures and just to stay focused on school and make sure to do my best to make him proud.
Are you worried for him?
A little bit.
Yeah. And have you ever been to Haiti?
No.
You've never been. I guess, would you be anxious to go to Haiti to visit him? If you
Yeah.
were to be deported?
Mhm.
Yeah. And let me ask you one last question. Your father, tell us about your relationship with him.
We have a close relationship. Like whenever I need help, he's always there to help me. And like if I say I need help in school, he'll always try and find a tutor that can help me so that I can make sure to learn everything I need to know in case there's like a big test coming up.
And what did he do for a living? Do you know what he did for a living? How he made money?
He worked for a driving service which drove people around and would take them to like prisons to go so that they could go see their family.
Okay. And he worked long hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have two sisters and one brother.
And have they and you discussed this amongst yourselves? What's going on?
Uh, I've talked to my sisters, but it's my stepbrother, so I haven't really talked to him that much.
Mm-hmm. Has anybody in school, any of the teachers, have you spoken to the teachers about this, or have they given you any sort of counselors to help you in school?
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of teachers, and I've emailed the principal and the like vice principal and dean,
Mm-hmm.
so that they could try and help.
And how do you feel this morning knowing that it's possible your father's going to get deported to Haiti? He's not going to be able to live with you in your home anymore. You feel anxious, frustrated, angry, scared? Tell us how you feel.
I feel I feel scared and like upset because it's kind of atrocious what they're doing, like splitting up families due to a drug offense that he committed years ago while he was still in Haiti, and he already had served his time there, and it was only a minor offense.
Yeah. Well, it was a minor offense, and back in the day, for minor drug offenses, they would put people in jail for years and years and years. And certainly, your father is getting punished again and again and again for something that he may or may not have done. Who knows? But even if he did it, he certainly doesn't deserve the punishment that he's getting. Your family certainly doesn't deserve the punishment that he's getting. You're a very strong man. You're a very smart young man. I don't know how this is going to work out. I'm not his attorneys. We're just finding out about this now. And of course, we wish you and the family and him all the best, and hope it has a happy ending.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. All right. Good luck in school today.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. We'll see if we can do that. I don't know what I can do to help, but whatever we can do to help, we will. All right. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be a happy ending. We have with us Janay Cauthen. I always get your last name wrong. Janay Cauthen. My apologies. And it does not look like it's going to be a happy ending, unfortunately. Janay is Jean's ex-wife, mother of 3 of his 4 children. And apparently, what's more important is getting rid of, it's very easy, Janay, to say, get rid of the drug dealers, get rid of bad people. But here's a guy who's a really good guy by all accounts that you can also certainly attest to, who's been a good father, is basically going, you're doing the opposite of what you want America to do. You're putting people on perhaps welfare. You're getting rid of role models, a father, a nuclear family, for something he did 30 years ago that he paid the price for multiple times. What's going on today with Jean? I don't hear you, unfortunately, Janay. Janay? I'm not hearing Janay, unfortunately. Janay? Janay? You know what? We're gonna try to come back to Janay in a minute or two. I don't hear her. I don't think anybody else hears her. What we understand from Janay, while if you can come to our regular shot now, and then hopefully we'll be able to fix her audio shortly. What we understand from Janay is that Jean, unfortunately, is scheduled to be deported today back to Haiti. They are going to be destroying this family. Jean is still praying and still protesting against this. She held a celebration yesterday on Martin Luther King Day. Wait, I'm starting to hear something from her. She is still asking people to fight for Jean. And at 7 o'clock, Jean, okay, it's working now? Janay, let's see if we can reach Janay now. Janay?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. Thanks for coming back on. And again, we all feel your heartache. We feel the heartache for your family and children. We feel the heartache for Jean that he's going through. Nobody should live a life. You only have one life on this earth, and nobody should live the life that he had to live because he made a mistake of being in the wrong place at the wrong time one time ago, 30 years ago. What's happening with him today?
Basically, as I said on the previous show, he had a pending case at the Board of Immigration of Appeals. And Scott Makowitz, he works at 26 Federal Plaza, and he's a deportation director. He basically made a comment that he's in contact with the BIA trying to expedite Jean's decision. The case has been pending for over 6 months. But seriously, Friday, I had called because I've been checking every day to see if they made a decision because he said he's going to hold him until he's able to legally deport him. Friday, the system was down. It said it was going to be down until Monday, which was Martin Luther King's Day. I called Monday, and it told me a decision was made Friday, which was January 12th. So his lawyer was aware. His lawyer filed a stay of deportation, and he appealed the decision. But Jean called yesterday about 6 o'clock in the afternoon stating that they told him to pack up, that he's going to be deported to Haiti this morning.
And do you know if he has left the country or not?
I'm not sure if he has left the country or not, because online, I can't get through on the phone, and online, it doesn't show him being in Miami, but it still shows him being in ICE custody.
And you know, I assume your lawyer filed what's called a habeas corpus petition into federal court, which is Latin for bring the prisoner forward, that they're holding this prisoner illegally, that they should release him pending, the outcome of a BIA appeal. But the BIA appeal apparently has not come out in his favor.
Yes, he actually the lawyer wasn't aware that a decision was made on the 12th, and he appealed the decision, and he also filed a stay of deportation.
All right, so he's appealed it into probably the second, either the second or third circuit, depending on where the case is being heard, either the second or third circuit. And when you appeal that, there should be a request for a stay, and hopefully the federal courts put a stay on his removal pending the outcome of their decision before they remove him.
Yes, but the clerk, the lawyer, I've been in contact with his attorney. He states that the clerk told him that the judge to make a decision whether or not they're going to give him a stay today within another hour or so, but it might be too late.
It may be. I wish, as I sat here over the weekend and even speaking with Jill, our producer, over the weekend, she's like, Brad, there must be something you can do. And and basically you're doing everything. There's nothing more that I wish there was something I could add to this. Your lawyer's doing the right appeals. He's making the right motions. You certainly are getting the word out to the world. There's not a lot more. I wish there was something I could do. I can't. But let me ask you this question. What do you have to say to the world besides the fact that, you're living through this personally, okay, that, because you are putting basically a face and on a problem that is widespread, where people say get rid of somebody, get rid of criminals, but in fact, what you're doing is getting rid of somebody or deporting somebody who's really a good, decent person who has suffered enough, and now the family is ultimately suffering more.
What I have to say, the immigration laws are very unjust. Yesterday, I was reading an article from Detroit. They deported this man back to Mexico. He's never been arrested. He's married to a U.S. citizen. He's been here for over 30 years, and they still deported him. So they're anti-immigrant, and they're making people that's providers become dependents, because once they go back to their country, they're going to have nothing, and they're going to rely on whatever family they have in the U.S. to provide for them, which is going to be a hardship.
What can anybody do right now? Because I'm leaving it up to you. We don't want Jean to be deported. We don't even know if he was deported or not. What are you asking people to do right now to help him?
I would like people to come. I need some legal advice, because I'm thinking about starting a class action lawsuit against the government since they deported him against his wishes. Maybe they can provide financial support for my 3 children, because their dad is no longer here to do it.
Is there a GoFundMe website or something that somebody can help or petition?
No, I didn't do a GoFundMe website. I want to go straight to the government.
Okay.
And I want other mothers who went through the same situation to jump on the ball so we can hit them where it hurts their pocket.
So you'd like people and families who have gone through similar situations like you to reach out and contact you, and you want to join together and band together. And I think that we lost her, but I think that's what she is looking to do. So if there is anybody who has gone out, who has a family, hopefully we'll get Janay back at some point. But if anybody has lived through this and wants to band together with Janay and says enough is enough, I don't know how we're going to have them reach. I guess call our office for the present time, because I don't know how Janay wants you to reach out to her, and we'll get you in touch with her. Telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. Very sad story.